maybe they will take this international trophy home. Getting back to the game, getting back to the draft that already started between both these teams, RCC with having the Novaria. So we will not see a Gushin from Troublemaker this game, but banning the Claude, the Nolan also. The Nolan didn't get banned, by the way, in the previous series. And here having the Arlott. On the other hand, the Ruby, the one that got banned a lot in this tournament, is getting picked beside the carry.
Yeah, big thing here. We're going to see a Kai and CC, and I'm actually wondering, are we going to see the Nana? Because as we saw, as I was talking about before, Yui used him twice last time, and Nana has actually been had a pretty big impact on a lot of the matches they've been in, especially when once you get to the mid and late game where she's able to just dish out so much damage and CC that once you're caught, it's over. You just make your plan back at the base, because you're not going to be getting out of that Molina, you're not going to be getting out of that stun, you're not going to be getting out of that damage. Moving on to that last pick that we have for the side of Blacklist International, as we take a look at some of these picks, a big thing for one shot, especially on the CC, she's been pretty strong in that XP lane. A lot of damage that can come out there, especially when it comes to that 1v1 sense there. We do see sometimes as it moves on to the mid and late game, as we transition into those team fights, CC can kind of fall off a little bit and get caught up. She doesn't have that AoE damage. She doesn't have, she does have a little bit of escapability, but like, I mean, it just depends on how she's used. RCC very confident in their ability in that. And then last pick up for Blacklist before we move into the second banning phase is going to be that Barats.
Also, if you looked at the Novaria, I think that RCC are trying their best to make her freely move inside the map, because the only thing that I can think of while seeing that Claude getting banned and not getting the carry is that they are afraid of Troublemaker getting caught off or like getting caught off guard. Well, having here the Barats from Blacklist International is not so debatable for me, because I know that Sinsui is really good with the tanky heroes or like the utility junglers, but maybe, just maybe, an assassin could have worked better against a formation that have a Novaria so far. Anyways, we might even see changes. Who said that the Barats will be in the jungle? Maybe he'll be flicked somewhere else. But RCC and Blacklist anyways go to the second phase of drafting, and as you said, it is correct, Nana's getting banned and Yui gets prevented from using it. It seems like today you are killing it when it comes to predictions.
It's just a little bit of research on some of these. They've only had a very few matches, and Nana, I'm a very personal bias hater of Nana's. I don't trust her cute little eyes.
She looks cute.
Behind all the woos and ahas of that cuteness lies a bloodthirsty monster that Mobile Legends isn't prepared to see. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where we go from here. I want to say a big comfort pick for Troublemaker, especially because he's already gotten an MVP on the Novaria in their first match yesterday. So very comfortable on the Novaria and wanting to kind of use that as a tool here, especially against a team like a Blacklist. We do see the Ixia taken off the board by them and the Minotaur, a lot of those big CC and setting potential. And that's kind of what we're lacking a little bit on RCC side right now. We do have the tankiness up front. We've got a pretty decent amount of damage and range and poking ability. What we are lacking right now, I want to say, is just a little bit of an early game and setting potential. So we'll see if they're going to make that up with their draft.
Having that Valentina actually makes a lot of sense, since already the Faramis is getting banned, the Nana is out of there, and also the Joy and the Novaria. So seeing the Valentina makes a lot of sense, especially because of the heavy spin and the Astral ultimate from Troublemaker and the Novaria. So far I think that Team Blacklist or like Blacklist International are making a decent job when it comes to drafting, and this is what we are used to from Coach Master the Basics. And here I was actually going to say, why don't we see someone like the Lilia? I know that was like before the Valentina appears, but I thought that Lilia might be used from Blacklist International. Anyway, RCC summons the Terizla for their side, and they will have extra crowd control. We might actually see a Diggy, you know? Maybe.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about, a little bit of that setting potential in the name of the in the name of the ultimate from Terizla. So the penalty zone going to be a good early game setup for RCC when it comes to a lot of these fights. The only thing for me is that I think it almost kind of works against what Castle can bring on the Akai. You're gonna have to be very surgical with the Akai and those heavy spins to make sure that once Terizla is setting up the penalty zone, you're not just heavy spinning everybody away from the engagement. So it's going to be very interesting for them. Blacklist going to go ahead. Ooh, and this is what we were seeing before. Baratz paired with a support, paired with a healer, especially something that Blacklist really kind of shines with. You were talking about it before when it comes to the Ube strat, when it comes to the healers and the support.
Need someone. I did expect to see a farm, an Estes, maybe a Diggy, but Rafaela wasn't on the top of my head because Rafaela haven't been used in a while. But anyways, take us into the game, Private.
Yeah, we're gonna see, guys, this is game one, hometown advantage for RCC. Gonna be taking on the Philippines' own Blacklist International, former M3 champions here, top of the mountain. It's a big hill that RCC needs to climb.
Wait, isn't that a Terizla room? How did I miss that?
Well, I mean, we've seen all sorts of different things here from a lot of these rosters here. We've seen everything from a Paquito mid. We've seen the Barats can go into the XP lane. We've seen an Odette out there. So Terizla roam, not exactly super shocking for me, but it's definitely something different for when it comes to some of these compositions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But look here at the gold lane, using the strategy that I personally call protect the king, and the king here is the gold laner, the Filipino sniper, using the carry, one of the most annoying gold laners right now. But seems like there is a meal for Sinsui.
Yeah, Coupe in a little bit of trouble trying to get himself away. Is going to use that flicker to get himself away. I mean, that's going to be one that's out. But Weiser actually in trouble here. Doesn't notice that there's 3 members, and they're going to go ahead and flank him. He's going to use that flicker and that dash to try to get away. Oheb putting the finishing touches onto him, and is a... Good job by Blacklist. It looked like Oheb was actually in the sights of a troublemaker, but the rest of Blacklist able to kind of go ahead and stand in front to make sure that he doesn't get taken out. Yui actually taking a heap of damage here, does dodge the Astral Orb from Troublemaker.
Oheb is in the zone. Oheb, with the help of Haji, up there in the top lane, up there in the gold lane, taking everything that's being offered in the map by RCC. But again, here we see a little bit of equalizing this equation, having the turtle, but on the other side, Sinsui went to take a purple buff. What a master class game. Really quick, really swift, really smooth between both of these teams. Agent Zero is down there in the bot lane playing against a CC, a Castle. And as I told you, that didn't land softly nor smoothly. The penalty zone have been missed by Coupe.
It's just the Blacklist right now just operating so smoothly. You can see even with these Astral Spheres, Troublemaker having a very hard time even landing them. You can see how well Blacklist is adjusted to it back and forth and having a very dominant game here, especially when it comes to having a plan after a plan after a plan. They had a plan to try to get a good gank onto RCC on the top lane, missed it, but then also able to find the gank onto Weiser. So it just... the dimensions of which they can come to you are almost immeasurable, and right now we're seeing it 0-2 in favor of Blacklist.
The thing I love about Blacklist International is that they are always able to find each other, even if the spaces or even if their positions were a little bit off or a little bit away from each other. Looking here, Blacklist have been fully visioned out. Team RCC can see them bright as daylight, but Blacklist International can actually continue on shifting this movement of I know it will sound a little bit like football, but 3-1-1 to like 3-1-1. I'm now speaking about the jungler ganking the gold lane, also the roamer with him and the gold laner himself, to also having 1-3-1. So there's always a group of 3 from BLACKLIST International moving together to keep this formation on and to keep this OP strat working on.
Yeah, you can see right now. Oh, a heap of damage just went to Sensui as Heavy Spin is out. And this is before the Lord fight even starts. So that's going to be an ultimate that you don't have. BLACKLIST going to be pulling here, looking to put some damage on. Lord has been reset as we has the Astral Echo from Troublemaker go out. You have the vision, but there's not much that they're able to capitalize on right now. And especially, I do like the counter here right now. Koopy, oh man, a little back and forth between Weiser and Oheb. Weiser actually was taking the, I want to say, the brunt of that, but Oheb decided to back off. Big Heavy Spin does land onto one shot. Is that going to be enough? Turtle down to about 10%, looking for the kill. One shot finds a kill onto Yui and the Turtle. Are they going to be able to transition this BLACKLIST in trouble? Sensui's going to go down, but not before taking down one shot. Oh, actually, he doesn't go down. Topped up by, I believe that was, he was topped up by Rafaela there. So they only lose one in the name of Yui. I spoke too soon. I didn't have faith, unfortunately, in that. You can see the replay up here. Look how low Sensui gets as he's taking damage here. He's down to like that mid-colored health bar, but still gets topped up by the Rafaela. Haji doing such a great job in the support role for his team.
Haji, and also taking that Akai, hitting 3 members of RCC was just a work of art coming from Sensui, escaping, and look at here the penalty zone, and the team fight seems to continue. Haji again with the survivability and also with the sustainability. He manages to engage and also to disengage, and in this case he disengaged twice and saved 2 of his team members.
Yeah, Big Heavy Spin comes out from one shot, trying to push them into his tower. Yui gets taken down, but the rest of BLACKLIST is here. We do have a Detona's welcome, pushing him back into there. Weiser finds a kill, or a kill. He takes down the tower there as one shot, and the rest of RCC trying to press it on. Weiser gets taken down, and that's going to be Koopy getting pushed back into BLACKLIST, who find another kill, 2-7. Castle is going to be able to get away. Yo-Yos be darned, he is able to find an escape.
That's what I do expect from seeing one of the best and finest XP laners of all time. Looking here at Edward with the War Axe, doing making a double kill possible on the top lane and being annoying, so annoying for RCC. And right now, after taking and winning his lane in a 1v1 phasing, or in a 1v1 battle in the bot lane, now he shifts not towards the top lane and switch between him and the gold laner, but to just help out, and he looks almost like a roamer in my eyes right now. He's now not just 3 members together, there's 4 members moving as a group, as a whole, for BLACKLIST International.
Yeah, Big Heavy Spin is out early. Koopy comes in with the penalty zone, focusing down onto Haji. He might be trying to focus down the healer before we can get in here. Haji still finds a kill onto Koopy. That is going to be 2 down for RCC. BLACKLIST International forcing forward onto this mid lane.
Oh my god, the flask of the wasted. I'm offended.
Yeah, and you can see here right now, they are able to get the clear out there, but BLACKLIST International being so dominant right now, 3K lead on their opponents here. You can see the Astral Echo goes out. We do have, Weiser actually caught, might be in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna have to use that dash to get himself to safety, but a good job zoning out RCC so BLACKLIST can get that tower.
I just need a moment to admire how BLACKLIST International are moving. They are moving as groups, and this is not something that you quite see a lot in any scene, neither local nor international scene. BLACKLIST International are always around each other. Look at here, there's always a group of 3, 4, or even 5 to take down one objective, even 2 objectives. And look at Haji just waiting with Oheba in the bot lane. There might be a kill though.
Oh yeah, they do finally take down Edward, who's been having a phenomenal game right now. 4, 1, and 2. They do find him at bottom, but you can see with that, they take 1 tower, but the advantage for BLACKLIST is how far they're pushing in. High ground towers already at the top lane.
That's true, that's true. 2 turrets have been taken down from RCC, and even though they don't look so bad at this moment, yet the situation is so hard to recover from. It's not impossible, but it is also not near the word possible. Here we can see 3k gold lead for Blacklist International, 4 turrets to 2, which is something really good for Royal Cyber Sport Club. But again, they need to shift out, or like to use and maximize their picks, especially the penalty zone that doesn't rhyme well with the heavy spin coming from the Akai. So they need a really good and a solid composition to take down, and I strongly suggest that they take Haji out, because when this guy is around, everything looks and seems to be a struggle.
I mean, you had Kupi diving for Haji in the last fight. Dove so deep, but then Haji able to turn around and get the kill onto Kupi. So it's like, what's left if you can't even land it onto him? Sensui, you can see up there, they go ahead, claim the first Lord of the game. And this game has been a steamroll so far for Blacklist here. We're still waiting. Right now, it's all been in Edward's hands, who've been waiting very patiently for Oheb to get farmed up. Once he starts getting those items, you can already see right there, starting to shred down those towers as they're keeping up this this pressure onto RCC. Lord up at the top. It's not even a luminous Lord. You can see how much pressure they're starting to put on.
Yeah, and again, I'm going back to the point where I said they move as a group in a really you cannot break them apart. I cannot find the exact word for it, but you cannot take them apart from each other. Looking at Blacklist International moving like that, it's so fascinating for the eyes. Yes, it's so hard to deal with, but it's so fascinating for anyone who's watching this game. RCC, on the other hand, need to do something about it. Yes, there is now some vision, but they do need to clear, and they do need to clear it fast.
Oh, Castle got knocked and bopped around and then deleted by Blacklist there. Oheb shreds down another tower at top. You can see Blacklist going to go ahead and change their focus now, looking to possibly go for the next tower. Looks like they're just going to go with the safe route, go ahead and start clearing out the jungle.
I think that they will synchronize all the waves. Look at the bot lane and the mid lane and the top lane at this moment, but there's a heavy spin and Sinso is in trouble.
Yeah, the I'm Offended does grab out to one shot, who gets taken out by Oheb. There's another player down, and that's going to be the shredding of the next high ground. They are almost down to no high grounds. The base is bare, alone in this Russian winter right now, as Blacklist is pushing in on them right now. 3 down. This might be it. A double kill right there for and Troublemaker is able to find a kill onto Sensui. Is that going to stop this attack on the base? Haji, Oheb said no. They are still trying to get a little bit of BMs there for them. That's going to be the first victory for Blacklist in this series.
Cleaning things out and making a clean game. Blacklist International strikes the hometown team RCC with a full sweep at the end of the game. And right now, the one who's shining with the supporting heroes is Haji from Blacklist International. Looking here and getting back inside the game to look at the highlights, Oheb was furious to get this double kill, and what he got was those 2 kills, one as a kill, one as an assist. And here Yue took so much time to zone out the Akai. One shot though was able, and this is the escape time that you were talking about, and that you casted and said that maybe Sensui will not be able to go back, but you took back your words at the same exact moment as Haji used his second skill and healing praise for you. And look at here, this is what I'm talking about. I want you to focus on that with me, Private. Look how many times Team Blacklist group up and reverse everything around.
Yeah, it was such a great job, and especially you could see with that ball of like madness that is Black just grouping together, able to kind of force back RCC. And then here's another one shot goes in and he's gonna get deleted. Kupi tries, look at how bad he wanted Haji, chasing him into the back line and then gets stunned and taken out by Haji, the support. Meanwhile, Edward doing Edward things out there, manning up and making sure that he can kind of support the team before Oheb is able to take on, as we can start seeing in in some of these next highlights. This is about the time when Oheb starts going off. Still about 105, but his job wasn't just for the kills. His job was about taking down a lot of these towers. You see there, he's able to blow up one shot before we are at about the end of the game. No more high grounds for RCC and just a bare base for BLACKLIST to keep on doing BLACKLIST things here. You saw them flickering in the more aggressive side from them as well. I mean, just a very dominating performance there, and you can see here, MVP Sensui, 2, 1, and 11. The damage taken, 36%. Wow. Of course, with the help of Haji there. It's very remarkable, and it's something you need to be prepared for when you go up against a team like BLACKLIST. Any type of healer strategy that they can pull out, they will be very refined at executing.
Seems like one of the picks that we will see using intensively in the upcoming games will be the Barretts. He have proven efficiency in almost all the roles that he filled. I'm not speaking about the mid lane, but I'm speaking about the XP lane and also in the jungle, and in the jungle especially, using this OVA strat, using this healing strategy to not just help out the junglers, the utility junglers, or even the heavy junglers in general, but we saw a different side from BLACKLIST International, serving that carry pick up there in the top lane and using the carry pick as a lethal weapon for I'm not gonna say the entire game, but in the early game and in the early stage, Weiser have suffered a lot and enough from both Haji and also Oheb. Looking here at the stats from Team RCC, we cannot actually say that they applied any